Okay, this is a video to go over the lesson about theme for those students who are not able to be at school due to illness or any other reason. Okay, and we're talking about the idea of theme. Okay, so what is theme? A theme is the life lesson the author wants the audience to learn. It's a lesson that the author wants the audience to learn. Okay. So the skill that we're working on is finding the theme. An author, when he's writing a story, isn't going to just tell you what their theme is. He's not going to go, the theme of this story is don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's not how authors convey their message. It's not how they tell us what lesson they want us to learn. Okay. So to find the theme, you have to observe or look at what the characters in the story say and do. And you have to ask yourself, what were the consequences? What happened to them because of the choice they made or something that happened in the story? Okay. So, what were the consequences of those actions? Consequences are the things that happen to you because of a choice that was made. So, for example, here at school, if you're on time to class or if you have a pencil with you, Ms. Claypool gives a good consequence of giving you a merit point for that behavior, right? But if you're late to class several times, if you're too talkative during class, there are negative or bad consequences that happen, okay? So that's what they mean by consequences. They're saying what happened to the character because of something they did or a choice that they made or something they said. Okay, so here are the rules. When you're explaining what a theme is, what the theme of a story is, you're always going to use a complete sentence. We talked about central idea last week, about how when an author is talking about a topic, he's trying to teach you something about the topic. So when you're explaining what the central idea is, you use a complete sentence. Okay, so that's the first rule with themes as well. A theme always, when you're telling somebody the theme of a story, you're always going to say or write a complete sentence. The second rule is that the theme never contains character names. So you're not going to say, Matthew did this, and that's the theme. You're not going to say the name of the character, because number 3 says, a theme is true for everyone. It's a lesson the author is trying to tell everyone. So you're not going to use a character's name because that means it's specific to that character, okay? And a theme is a rule for everyone, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to read each story. I'll read it to you. And then for the first example, I'm going to write the theme of the passage. I'm going to talk through how I got to that theme. And then I'm going to write another sentence that explains what happened in the story that helped me figure out what the theme was. Okay, so here's the first story. It says, Jenny Lewis was so excited. She had a pack of Starbursts in her lunch, and she'd been looking forward to eating them all morning. Lunch finally came, and Jenny sat down to eat her Starburst when her friend Rudy sat next to her. Let me get the pink ones, asked Rudy. Jenny liked the pink ones best, but she thought Rudy was funny, and Jenny wanted Rudy to like her, so Jenny gave Rudy all of her pink Starbursts. Before Jenny was done giving Rudy the pink ones, Carrie sat on the other side of Jenny. Let me get the red and the orange ones, Jenny. Remember when I gave you that Snickers? Jenny didn't remember that, though she did remember when Carrie ate a whole Snickers in front of her. But Jenny thought Carrie was cool, so she gave her the red and the orange Starbursts. Now that she only had the yellow ones, Jenny wasn't so excited about eating Starburst anymore. Okay, so there's a lesson that this author is trying to tell us. Okay, there's a lesson that they want us to learn. All right, so what we're going to look at is the choice Jenny made. Okay, she chooses to give Rudy all the pink Starbursts. Okay, she gives her all of them. I'm going to highlight that. These are Jenny's favorite flavor, but she's giving them to Rudy because she wants Rudy to like her. All right? The same thing goes for Carrie, okay? Carrie demands, she's not really asking, she says, let me get the red and orange ones, okay? So she is going to give more of her Starburst away. And it says here, Jenny didn't remember this incident that Carrie says. Carrie says, remember when I gave you that Snickers? Jenny doesn't remember that, but she remembers that Carrie ate a whole Snickers bar in front of her. Now, I want you to be asking this of yourself. Would a friend sit and eat a Snickers in front of you without offering you a bite? Okay. Is Carrie her friend? Is Carrie her friend? Okay, so I want you to think about that. It also says Jenny thought Carrie was cool, so she gave her the red and the orange Starburst. All right, so are Rudy and Carrie actually Jenny's friends? Hopefully you're thinking to yourself, no way they're friends, okay? Your friends should like you for who you are without you giving them things, okay? So our theme here is that you can't buy friendships. Whoops, I moved that. Okay? Your theme of this story is you cannot buy friendship. Okay, that's what Jenny's trying to do here. Okay, she's sitting by her. It sounds like she's sitting by herself at lunch. It doesn't say she's eating with anybody else. She sits down to have her Starburst. It's a special treat that's in her lunch, and it even uses this is called italics, these sideways words or these bent words to tell you that Rudy sat next to her. Okay, Rudy's not really her friend. She says she thinks Rudy's funny and Jenny wants Rudy to like her. So Jenny gives Rudy all of her pink Starburst. Sorry, I keep saying Starbucks. And again, she does something similar with Carrie. She wants Carrie to like her as well because she thinks Carrie's cool. And just like you, she wants to fit in, okay? So does it really work out for Jenny in the end, though? Because she basically loses all of her Starburst. She's only left with the yellow ones, the lemon flavor. Okay? So the theme of this story is you cannot buy friendship. Or you could say, true friends do not take things from you. Okay? They don't want to take things from you. They want to give you good things. Okay? And we could say, I know this is the theme because in the story, Jenny ends up missing out on her special treat because she gives away the Starburst to people. Whoops, that's misspelled. Starburst to people who she wants to like her. Okay? She wants them to like her. So her thinking was, okay, I'll share my Starburst and then maybe they'll like me a little bit better. Okay. But you can't buy friendship. Do you think Carrie and Rudy would have sat with Jenny if she had been, if she had no Starburst, if she had no special treat? Do you think Rudy or Carrie would sit with Jenny at that point? Okay, and the answer is no. They wouldn't have sat with her. They sat with her because somehow they either saw those Starbursts or knew she had them somehow, and that's the reason they sat with her. Okay, those are not true friends. Okay, so remember, as we're in middle school, the rules about friendship get a little trickier. And remember that you have to be careful who you give things to, because sometimes they aren't really your friend. Okay. All right. Here is the second passage. Okay. Once there was a mean little boy who lived in a small village. This mean little boy loved to mess with people, so one day he ran up to a sheep herder and shouted, "Wolf, wolf! A wolf is attacking the town." The sheep herder grabbed his staff and ran to defend the town, but realized he'd been fooled when the boy started pointing and laughing at him. "Ha ha ha! I made you jump," said the boy. Then the boy ran up to a farmer and shouted, "Wolf, wolf! A wolf is attacking the town." The farmer grabbed his pitchfork and ran to defend the town, but when the boy started pointing and laughing at him, he realized he'd been tricked. As the boy went back to his family's farm, laughing about the funny trick he played, he saw a real wolf in his father's chicken coop. As the wolf ate all of his father's chickens, the boy screamed over and over again, "Wolf, wolf, please help us!" But nobody came to help him. Okay, so what do you think the theme of the passage is? What do you think the theme is? I'm going to give you some choices. A, is the theme that you shouldn't count your chickens before they're hatched. You shouldn't count your chickens before your eggs have hatched. Is the theme slow and steady wins the race? Is the theme you shouldn't lie about emergency situations? Or is the theme the boy should have asked for help differently? Okay, what is the lesson? Okay, so I want you to choose right now. I'm going to read it one more time. I'm going to make it the font a little easier to read. Okay, what is the theme of the story? Is it A, you shouldn't count your chickens before your eggs have hatched? Is it B, slow and steady wins the race? Is it C, you shouldn't lie about emergency situations? Or D, the boy should have asked for help differently? Okay, the answer here is C. You shouldn't lie if you're in an emergency situation. You shouldn't lie about that, okay? Because what happened to the boy? So we know this because the reason we know this is the answer, there's a reason we know it, okay? Whoops. Go back. I'm trying to get this over here. Here we go. The reason we know that this is the theme is because the boy lied so much that no one would help him when there was a problem with the wolf. Okay, I could have said, "Don't cry wolf" is the theme. Okay, so you shouldn't lie about emergency situations. Okay, so that's the theme of the boy who cried wolf. This is also a reason that when you're on school campus, you really shouldn't yell or scream just for fun in the hallways. It's because that alerts your teacher that something is wrong. And if you continue to do it and nothing's wrong, then if something does happen that is wrong, that needs help, we're not going to immediately run over to help. Okay? So this was our practice on theme. We will hopefully we will continue to work on this and central idea through the unit 1. Okay,